Hello, welcome to Ray Reviews Root Beer. My name is Ray, and today, before we get into the little bit of root beer history, I actually have another story to tell you about my own fun root beer adventure. I was actually a while ago in a little town in Rhode Island, in a small cafe, having lunch with my family, and ordered a root beer, and was served this. I'm not sure if you can see it. Empire Bottling Works root beer, which I noticed is bottled in Bristol, Rhode Island. And we just so happened to be in Bristol, Rhode Island. So after lunch, we drove up the street and I got to see the bottling works. I didn't take a tour or anything, but it was pretty cool to see the building sign on the door that said Empire Bottling Works. Next time I'm there, maybe I'll try to arrange a tour of all the equipment. I don't know if that's possible, but stay tuned. I would like to. Yeah, it was super, super cool. It just said Bristol, Rhode Island, had the phone number and the address of the company. So, with that, I decided today I'm going to review another Rhode Island root beer. And I was actually looking at it earlier. This is Olde Rhode Island Molasses root beer. Let's see if it focus on that or if the light's too bright. It's kind of hard with the white. We'll see when I check this afterwards. Made from an old New England recipe. So I was like, wow, another Rhode Island root beer. And then looking at the side, I realized it's also bottled by Empire Bottling Works in Bristol, Rhode Island. I wonder if it's the exact same root beer. I'll see, because this one is molasses root beer and the other one is just normal. But its ingredients are natural artisan spring water, made with 100% cane sugar, natural and or artificial flavor extracts, citric acid, and sodium benzoate as a preservative. So I'm thinking it might be the same root beer because that's the same ingredients as the just Empire root beer, but maybe the natural and artificial ingredients are different. So I told you I had a little bit of root beer trivia today, and that is that in 1919, Roy Allen opened his first root beer stand in California. What's interesting about that is Roy Allen's root beer stands later developed to be A&W restaurants and A&W root beer. Roy Allen innovated serving root beer in a frosted mug. So in his honor today, after I open this and drink it, I have a small A&W mug for sampling. I think it's an old vintage child size serving glass from the restaurant. But I've tried frosting it myself in the freezer. So I'll try that and also try the root beer. Without, other than that on the bottle, there's nothing except Old Rhode Island molasses root beer from an old New England recipe, bottled in Bristol, Rhode Island. So I'm going to go ahead and try to open it. Now, this is not my frosted mug. This I just want to try, see if my new bottle opening mug works. Yep. All right, so now this mug, the way I saw a tutorial on how to frost your own mug is to put a wet paper towel around it and then put it in the freezer. So it feels cold, but let me try this root beer first. As soon as it came up to my mouth, I could almost smell the bitterness, but it's the kind of bitter that I like. So I'm so happy to have a root beer that I can say root beers are supposed to have the right amount of bitter, which is just that sharp taste. This is super fizzy. Let's try it in the mug. A&W, child size from way back when, but I like it as a proper size for sampling. So almost no head on that mug, no froth. Almost more like a seltzer. This is a root beer that I like because it's not overly sweet. There's a little bit of after sweet taste, but this tastes more like the old-fashioned style as opposed to the overly sweet sodas we get today. So for creaminess, I'm going to give it a 2. And for, it's not creamy at all. There's no froth. For sweetness, a 2. Maybe even a 1.5. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 1.5 for sweetness. And meaning that you definitely don't get a sugar taste when you drink it. You do get the spice. I'm going to give it a 3 and a 4 for bitterness. So if you like your root beers to not be sweet, but have a little bit of a spice and a little bit of a sharp kick, then I recommend Olde Rhode Island Molasses root beer. I thought molasses was very sugary, but in this case it's not. Overall enjoyment, I'm going to give this, I'm going to give it a 5. If I was looking for a seltzer style, then I would go with this one. But usually I do enjoy the creamy frothy root beers. This one, however, is an excellent alternative if you don't want the frothy. Thanks.